Peace. What's going on, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tune on in, man, before we start building on this important topic for the day, man. How y'all holding up on this wonderful Wednesday? Well, I don't even know if it's wonderful, man, but how y'all holding up on this Wednesday? Give y'all a chance to tap on in with your boy, man, before we start diving into the subject matter for the day, man. Like I said, we got to do some venting today. Got to get some things off my chest in regards to the current events. Y'all know what's happening out here, man. I got to build on it. Y'all know this is one of those topics where I got to jump on it. Beautiful Goddess Keys. Peace, Queen. What's going on? Andronicus. Peace. What's going on? This is one of those topics, man. This is one of those topics. I gotta get some things off my chest because I'm seeing a lot of ignorance. I'm seeing a lot of nonsense in regards to what happened to that young sister, Mikayah Bryant. I'm seeing some nonsense. A lot of nonsense. Thunder Scorpion, what's going on? John Armstrong Productions, peace, what's going on? Ray Shine, Darvin, what's going on? And John, that's what I'm talking about. And that's one of the things, man. It's like we pick and choose when we want to trust the system. Now, all of a sudden, a lot of people are very critical, got a lot to say in regards to how Mikayah Bryant was handling the situation, basically saying she deserved what happened to her based off of the footage. Now, all of a sudden, we trust all of the footage that they just released to us. So now we trust in their footage now. But any other time, we liable to question anything that they show us. But now we fully trust in the footage that they showing us, like things haven't been manipulated and altered to benefit them and make them look like, or make it look like he acted in a correct manner. We know how I go. For one, I don't trust all of the footage that I've seen. That's just me personally. That's just me personally. I never believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. I'm only believing half of what I saw, first and foremost. Like, I'm not going based off of everything that I saw in that footage. That's not the whole entire story. So I'm not basing everything off of that. Terenzo, peace, what's going on? Wisdom, what's going on? Yeah, Thunder Scorpion, I'm hearing a lot of different things, man. The first story that I heard was that she was the one that called the police. Mikayah Bryant, the one that actually got shot and killed. I was hearing that she called the police because apparently these girls were striving to jump her or whatever the case may be. Then they ended up getting into it. Then the police shows up. She knocks one girl down to the ground. Then all of a sudden she rushing this other girl. Apparently she had the knife. And then that's why the cop decided to fire the shots and kill her, because she had the knife up to the other girl, whatever the case may be. But apparently she was the one supposedly getting jumped. And basically from what I'm gathering, she was defending herself. That's what I've been gathering. That's what I've been hearing. Now, if they come out with something that says otherwise or something to the contrary, then okay, cool. But based off all the intel that I've gathered thus far, it revolves around her being jumped, defending herself, and some girls striving to come out to fight her, and she was defending herself, which would be one of the reasons why she would have had the knife in the first place. That's all the information that I'm gathering. So that's what my information is leading me to. I don't know what y'all have heard, but that's what I've heard. And if that's true, if that's an actual fact, if these girls, listen, this is the way I was brought up. I don't know how y'all was brought up, but I was brought up in the way where if somebody is threatening your existence and it's more of them than you, meaning you about to get jumped, then anything goes. Anything goes. If y'all not striving to fight me one-on-one, and if y'all got me outnumbered, it's one of me and it's 3 or 4 of y'all, even if it's 2 of y'all, everything goes. You get what you asked for at that particular point. You shouldn't have came here. You shouldn't have been messing with me. You should have left me alone. You shouldn't have been coming here trying to jump me. So if you coming in with the sole intentions of causing me harm and then I'm outnumbered, the way I was raised, anything goes. So whatever I got to grab to defend myself, I'm grabbing it. Whether it be a gun, knife, a brick, I don't care what it is. That's the way I was brought up. Once again, I don't know how all of y'all was brought up, but if I'm outnumbered in the fight, anything goes. I was taught to grab stuff. That's how I was raised. Period. I'm not about to try to fight 3 or 4 people with just my hands. Ain't gonna work like that. So y'all got me outnumbered. I'm grabbing something. That's period. That's how I was raised. So if I got access to the knife, I'm grabbing the knife. That's how I was raised. That's how I was raised. You outnumbered, anything goes at that particular point. Because now they asking for it. You getting what you deserve at that point. You shouldn't have came here striving to jump me. I shouldn't be outnumbered in this fight. Just shouldn't be working like that. So if y'all coming with the sole intentions to cause me harm, and I'm outnumbered, anything goes. Anything goes. I'm grabbing whatever I got access to. Luckily, she ain't have a gun or something. But if y'all striving to jump me, I ain't got whatever I got access to. It is fair game. It's fair game, but it's crazy. This is the funny thing. This is why I want to bring this up. What's crazy is righteous peace. What's going on? What's funny is when the police feel threatened, it's okay for them to shoot and kill. But when we feel threatened, everybody want to criticize us. Well, why she have a knife? She shouldn't have had the knife. She was about to stab the girl. Maybe she felt threatened. So why can't we use that reasoning? Why can't we use that reasoning for her? But when the cops do something, then it's cool. Then you're like, he felt threatened for his life. Boom. So he pulled the gun out, shot, and killed her. Why can't we say the same for her? Maybe she felt threatened for her life, and that's the reason why she had the knife in the first place. But no, we jump into conclusions. She deserves to get killed. She shouldn't have had the knife. She was trying to stab and kill another girl. That's crazy. Maybe she was in fear for her life. We don't know the whole story. Maybe she got the knife because she was in fear for her life, like the police always in fear of their lives when they're around us. So we didn't jump to conclusions. We didn't call her a killer. We didn't make this girl out to be a killer. We didn't make this young girl out to be a killer. Don't even know her. She had a knife, so she was trying to kill another girl. Come on, man. Come on, man. Why couldn't she just feel threatened? That's the reason why she had the knife. So why we got to jump to that conclusion off the rip, out the gate? Nah, maybe she felt threatened. That's why she had the knife. At that particular point, like I said, if I'm outnumbered, then I'm grabbing any and everything. So I'm doing the same thing she did. If I'm outnumbered, I'm grabbing any and everything because I don't know what y'all plans are with me. Y'all got me outnumbered. Y'all obviously got ill intentions. Man, they could have killed her by jumping her. You know, so she protecting herself based off of the information that I gathered. Casey Yang, man, I heard that she called the police. But I'm hearing conflicting reports in regards to who actually called the police. I don't know. But I've heard from a lot of different people and sources that she was the one that called. But I don't know. I don't know that to be for certain, though. Santriez, peace. What's going on? Terenzo, no doubt, man. No doubt. No doubt. King Grady, they got the green light on us. When it's time, listen, when it's something that's going down and it involves black folks, they got the green light. Shoot to kill. They got the green light. They got the green light. When it's an altercation involving black people, they got the green light to shoot to kill. Matter of fact, they don't even have to be an altercation. They just got the green light to shoot to kill us, period. But definitely when it's an altercation, shoot to kill. Shoot to kill. Then we're going to blame it on the fact that she had the knife. We can't say that she was in fear for her life, but the cops can use that to their defense and as justification, though. But she couldn't, though. She ain't even get to live to explain her side of the story. So she not even going to be able to be alive to tell her side of the story. So now we already know how this is about to go. We already know how this story is about to go. Because she's not alive to defend herself. She's not alive to tell her part of the story. So basically, all the information that's about to come out in regards to what happened is about to make her look like the bad person. Because she's not allowed to defend herself. She's not allowed to tell y'all what actually went down from her perspective on her end. She's not able to do that. So now it's going to be everybody speaking for her. And I guarantee you they're going to paint her to be the bad person. Guarantee you they're going to do that. Because she's not allowed to counter the stories. Yeah, Darvin, and that's what I'm hearing. Like I could be wrong, but that's what I'm hearing. That's the information that I'm gathering. So if she was about to get jumped, she called the cops and she picked up the weapon to defend herself. I'm all for what she did. At that particular point, whatever happens to these chicks, man, we got the right to defend ourselves, man. If I'm outnumbered, you have the right. I have the right to defend myself. Period. I got the right to defend myself. You know how many people then defended themselves by shooting and killing other people that intended to cause them harm. She grabbed whatever she had access to, and it was a knife, and she was defending herself. If these girls was having her outnumbered, that's on them. They shouldn't have came there messing with her. Casey Yang, and that's where some of this story is getting conflicted because I think that was her mom's or something. that I was listening to or watching when she said she had a knife, but she dropped the knife before they shot and killed. Like, I don't know, man. I'm hearing a bunch of different things, man. I'm hearing a bunch of different things when it comes to that. But even still, man, like, it's been plenty of times, KC, and I'm going to just go to personal experiences. Man, it's been plenty of times where I just seen people, man, call the feds, man, something about to go down, and then it goes down. It goes down. And at that point, when something goes down, you're not thinking logically. Your emotions, you in survival mode. So if I called the cops, I'm like, hey, man, they trying to jump me. And then before the cops get there, then the fight starts. Like, at that particular point, I ain't really thinking. That's just how it goes, man. I mean, I don't know how many fights y'all already been in, but, man, at that point, you done. Especially if you getting jumped, man. You ain't thinking about, all right, the cop's gonna come, so I better not lunge at her with this knife. Nah, you thinking, I'm getting jumped right now, man. I don't know what they capable of. I don't know what they got on them. So I'm sorry, I'm trying to survive. That's that fight or flight mode. So at that particular point, man, all your logic then went out of the window. You in survival mode at that particular point. So whatever you did before that, you may have been thinking logically, but once the fight goes down, that's done. You trying to survive, especially if you outnumbered. You ain't really thinking logically at that particular point. So I can see that if she called the cops like, hey, they trying to jump me, they won't leave me alone. And then the cops was taking too long to get there. Y'all know how the cops do, especially when it's the black neighborhoods. We didn't call the cops. It take them 45 minutes to an hour to get there, and they'll be right around the corner. So if you didn't call the cops and it's taking them an hour to get to the premises, by that time, man, the fight just started. By that time the fight just started, man, you got to think about it. If I call the cops and there's some people trying to jump me, man, it's only so long I probably can hold them off before it just get real, man, before emotions and all that start flaring up. Wisdom, man. I know for a fact, man, there's plenty of ways to de-escalate a situation like that, a situation just like that without killing folk. Now everybody want to make it look like this young girl is just a mass killer out here, like she was just intending to kill everybody. Because what's funny to me, on top of that, KC, what I find funny is we focusing on, okay, before she had old girl picked up to the car, it was a girl before that she had, I guess, pushed, slammed, or whatever to the ground. If she was really out to stab and kill folks, why didn't she stab her? The first girl that she was into it with, why didn't she stab her? Look, if I'm about to go crazy and go on a stabbing spree, I'm stabbing everybody. I'm stabbing everybody that's involved. She didn't do whatever she did, got old girl to the ground, didn't stab her. So, like, listen, if she was ready to stab people, she was gonna be stabbing everybody. That's how I'm looking at it, man. Old girl, she was wrestling with old girl, got her down to the ground. If she was this killer like everybody making her out to be, she would have started with stabbing her first. Because obviously that was the one she was into it with first. So that's not adding up to me, man. If she was really gonna go on a stabbing spree, why didn't she stab the first girl that ended up on the ground? Apparently that girl, she had more issues with her because that was the first one that she was into it with. According to the video, why was she trying to stab her, kill her? If she was this killer that everybody making her out to be, it ain't adding up. It's ain't adding up to me. Especially the fact that, again, they trying to criminalize her, man. They trying to make her look like a killer. Come on, man. They trying to paint her to be this vicious killer, like she's trained to kill. Like she was just gonna be out here stabbing everybody with this knife for no reason. Like she had no reason. Like she just out here stabbing people with a knife for no reason. That's what they making her out to be. That's what they making her out to be right now. And the crazy thing about it is she not allowed to tell her end of the story now. So we don't even get that. We don't even get that right, man, to just see where she was coming from. Oh, King, you already know. You already know, King Grady, man. You know, they going back in the day when they had the Nazis on the police force, man. We already know the foundation of the police force, man. We already know. They got the Nazi origins and things of that nature. Asada Shakur broke that down in her autobiography, man. She broke it down. Jay Peach, what's going on? Wisdom, no doubt. No doubt. You already know it. Terenzo. Yeah, that's the jewel. That's the jewel. Yeah, Jay, and that's what I'm trying to get people to understand. Everybody talking about the fact that she was about to stab up. Listen, if you getting jumped, 2 people can kill 1 person. 3 people can kill 1 person. I've heard it was 4 on 1. I don't know. I just know it was 2 girls that she was fighting on the video. So I'm just gonna mark those 2 off as those are the 2 that had a problem with it. I don't know. Somebody said something about 4 on 1. I have no idea. But if somebody isn't, or some people are intending to jump you, man, they can cause you harm to the point where they can kill you. I've seen this. You know. Darvin, man, I'm telling you. And that's how you was taught. That's how you was taught. When you getting jumped, you aim for the biggest one. And whatever you got to do to take that biggest person out, you do it. And you got to grab a brick, you grab the brick. If you got to grab a knife, you grab the knife. But whatever you got to do to take that biggest person out when you are getting jumped, that is what you strive to do. That's how I was taught. KC, and the bad part about it, KC, this is the bad part about it. We honestly will never know the full truth because Mikayah Bryant is not alive to tell it. So the only thing we about to get is their version of it. So we not really gonna be able to get the full truth because they killed the one person that was gonna be able to end all of the confusion. They killed the one person, so we're not gonna be able to get the full truth. All we gonna get now is a fabricated truth, and that's basically gonna be to make them look good. That's basically what we getting. And we're not saying, Casey, I'm not saying they shouldn't have taken no action, but I've seen situations like that get dealt with better. Because like I said, if she was really the killer that everybody making her out to be, she would have stabbed the old girl that she had pushed to the ground. If she obviously would have had to have the knife on her then. So she would have been stabbing everybody. She would have started stabbing her. That's the way I see it. That's the way I see it, man. But it was ways around killing her though. Like the solution shouldn't be either do nothing or kill them. That shouldn't be the solution. Those shouldn't be your only 2 solutions. Well, we gonna either do nothing or we gonna kill her. Like that ain't it. That ain't it. Brittany, you already know how I go. We already know how I go. And they loving this. They loving this one. They having a field day. The white folks having a field day with this one. They having a field day. They having a field day for 2 reasons. The first reason is that this was us fighting against one another. So they loving that. Look at these savages. Look at these animals. It's out her fighting. Ooh, look at them. Savages. Second reason, yep, she had the knife. She had the knife. Shouldn't have had the knife. She should not have had the knife. But then again, when it's them on the other hand, George Zimmerman and things of that nature. So when they getting whooped and things of that nature, when it's they people, when it's people that resemble their pigmentation or closer to their pigmentation, when it's them, then it's cool for them to be getting thrashed in a fight or whatever the case may be and to pull out a gun. That's cool. That is cool. If it's a white person and that white person getting whooped, getting jumped, whatever the case may be, and that white person say, you know what, I'm finna pull out this knife, I'm finna pull out this gun because they jumping me, or I'm losing this fight, or I feel threatened, then white folks all for that. Well, they shouldn't have been jumping him, or they shouldn't have been fighting him. He didn't want to fight. He was trying not to fight, or he felt threatened. When they are under those influences and they pull out the gun or they pull out the knife, then it is justified. It is fine. When we do it, on the other hand, she shouldn't have had the knife. She should have walked away. She should have waited for the cops to get there. That's what they gonna say. But when it's on them, no, they not saying that. He was right. He should have. I'm glad he pulled out the knife. He's defending himself, standing his ground. The guy shouldn't have been in the neighborhood. The guy shouldn't have been bothering him. The guy shouldn't have been fighting him. They're justified. But when it's us, it's not justified though. We can't say we felt threatened. I can't pull out, like I can't be in a fight and say I felt threatened. I can't say that. Apparently, I can't say that. I can't say that at all. I don't have the right to say that. If I say that, then it's gonna be all question marks at the end of that. Like, what? Why you had a knife? Like, that's crazy. What are you charging that people with a knife for? Because we got her fight, man. It's 2021. Man, people shooting and killing. People don't be asking questions out here. You don't know what anybody has on them. And these women are out here loaded. Man, look, the women are out here more strapped up than the dudes. So you don't know what's happening. And I don't care if they were 16 and 15. Man, these young kids be walking around with guns. You don't know what somebody is liable to do to you in 2021. So, man, y'all better be lucky she had a knife. So it's like, come on, man. This ain't 1995 where you could have been you could have got jumped and just walked away from it and just took your L, man. You don't know what's liable to happen to you these days, man. You don't know what's liable to happen to you when it comes to physical confrontation. Just don't know. Oh, righteous. I wouldn't put it righteous Reese. I wouldn't put that past them. I wouldn't put it past them at all. Because what this happened 20 minutes before they announced that he was guilty. I think it was either 20 minutes before or 20 minutes after. I think it was before though. I think it was before. So that wasn't, I mean, I'm pretty sure because of the timing. I'm pretty sure because of the timing that it's all somehow connected. I just got to connect the dots. Wisdom. And KC Yang. And then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna go back and say this. Once again, if the story is true that they were there to jump her, then but I really don't. At the end of the day, if she had this knife on her and they was coming to jump her, she's in the right. That's how I see it. Point blank. Period. If they was there to jump her, man, and things escalated, she was defending herself. Just like there's plenty of people that then walked away free after they defended themselves after shooting and killing somebody that came to do them harm. So if they was coming there to jump her, man, and she was grabbing whatever she had access to, and she was defending herself, then she was in the right because she was defending herself from people that was there to cause her harm. So if that part of the story is true, she was there defending herself. Brittany V, I already know. You know how I go. When they shoot and kill us, this is what they do. When they murder us, man, they go on our social media and they find the most negative pics, most negative statuses, and they utilize those statuses to kind of justify what they did to us. See, this person was always this, that, and the third. You see this picture they took 25 years ago with all these guns, bad person. Like that's what they do. Yeah, Justin, and yeah, Thunder, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't trust the whole entire body cam footage. Just don't trust it because again, that's not really the whole story in my end. But again, we're not gonna ever get the entire truth because she's not allowed to tell it. I don't believe that I don't believe that Mikayah Bryant was out here just swinging a knife for no reason. I just don't believe that. Find that hard to believe. And again, like I said, when the shoe is on the other foot, it's justified. They can be in fear of their life and they can walk around shooting and killing everybody, and that's justified and accepted. But if she walking around here with a knife, we think that she's just a lunatic out here with a knife trying to stab everybody. No, like I just don't. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. So again, we're not gonna be able to get the entire truth ever because they have killed one person that was gonna be able to give us that. And KC, yeah, I peeped that. And again, that's why I say I don't know the full details. Like I said, if it was multiple women there or young women there to jump her, then again, she justified in all she was doing. I ain't that dude trash for whatever he was doing in that video. Dude just be trash, man. That dude, for all we know, he could have not been there for her. He could have just been being childish and petty. Because I've seen that too, man. Dude probably didn't have any association with anybody. He was just there trying to do something stupid, kicking the girl in the head. Man, I've seen that plenty of times. So I'm not about to automatically assume that the dude was there to help her. He could have been one of these nosy dudes that I've seen before that was just there at that time and just decided to be ignorant. Say, well, I'm just trying to kick her in the head. So I'm not about to automatically assume that dude was there to help her. I don't know that. Antoinette, Peach Queen, what's going on? And Thunder Scorpion, that's what I'm saying. But I don't know how many fights y'all have been in, man, but I was in several when I was a youngin'. And when you are fighting, like for the most part, I know I tended to black out. There's no telling what I would do. There's no telling what I would do. No telling. No telling what I would do. Especially if I know, like if it's 1-on-1, we cool. But like, man, if y'all coming at me and it's more than one of y'all, like, nah, man, it's about to go down. It's about to go down. This ain't about to be no technique. Nah, it's going down. It's going down. Now, if it's 1-on-1, then we just gonna make the best man win. That's how that's gonna work. But if it's multiple people and it's just me, nah. All the logic is out the window. That's it. Like, I'm doing whatever I got to do to walk out of this situation alive. I'm not thinking about anything. Like, that's it. So like I said, I just don't believe that this chick was out here just waving a knife for no reason. And it's just like like I said, she's not here to tell her side of the story. So I really don't care what everybody else got to say. I want to hear what she had to say. She's not going to be able to tell it. So for the most part, I mean, I can't even trust witnesses, man. I mean, you gotta question everything, man, because you know how many times they have intimidated witnesses. Like, I don't trust nothing when it comes to this system, man. The word witness, it sounds good, but y'all know how many times they have intimidated witnesses, man. This is age old, them intimidating witnesses. So nah, man. Like, I don't even care about witnesses at this point. She's not able to tell her side of the story, so therefore I'm not gonna ever get the entire truth. Witnesses or no witnesses, man. Again, they have intimidated witnesses and they've been doing this for a long time. So I don't care about the witnesses being there. They liable to tell these people, look, this is what you saw, and you say anything other than this is what's gonna happen to you. So nah, at this point, I don't even care. I don't trust what anybody is saying about this particular situation. Cal, all the time. And it's just crazy how quick we were to jump to the conclusion that she deserved it. Again, like I said, when it's anybody else, we justifying somebody having a weapon to defend themselves. We justifying it. We even talk about it. Yeah, if somebody run up on me, if they try to do this to me, then that's what I'm gonna do. I got something waiting for them. Maybe she was acting off that same energy. Well, they coming, they threatening me. I got something for them. But we not looking at it like that. But if this was us on the other end, if somebody was coming at us like that and we had the knife, then I'm pretty sure we wouldn't feel right if we were shot and killed, because we'd be in our minds, I was just defending myself. So it's like I feel like a lot of people didn't jump to a conclusion rather quickly in regards to this particular situation. Rather quickly. And I feel like we put our trust in what we saw too quickly. Yeah, I saw the body cam footage, but that's just body cam footage. It was something that led up to that. So it was a bunch of things that we did not see. It's almost like if you watching a movie and you busting that movie like 45 minutes into the fact and thinking you got the whole movie figured out. No, it's a backstory. You missed the whole 45 minutes leading up to this part. You don't know the whole entire movie. You gotta watch that more from the beginning. So we don't know what led up to what we saw. And that is important. That is important. King Grady, not at all. Kuma, man, I know how that go, man. I know how I go. I know how I go, man. As youngest, man. I know how I go, man. I knew how I go. I done been in plenty of situations where I resorted to picking up weapons and things of that nature. So if somebody would have called some folks on me, ain't no telling what would have happened. Because listen, you coming at me incorrectly, especially when I'm not bothering you, man. I was liable to do anything, man. I ain't got time for that. Not finna play around with you. Jay, yeah, I gotta do the knowledge to it, man. I gotta watch it. Y'all know how I get. I watch things when the hype die down a little bit. Yeah, Kuma, I already know. But at the same time, man, it's cool. But you never know in 2021. You never know what somebody else got. So it's sad to say, like, I wish I could be like, man, stay away from weapons and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, at this particular point, man, you just never know. You never know what somebody got, man, because dudes out here, especially dudes out here ain't really trying to fight no more, man. So you get into it with some dudes, you best believe somebody in the group, especially if it's more than one, somebody in the group got a gun. And if it get too bad, like if you getting the best of them, you may end up shot and killed, man. So so that's the way of the world, man. Orlando, peace. What's going on? Wait a minute, Orlando, what you say? I question if anyone can answer. I lost my brother yesterday by a stroke. I don't know. I feel there's a lot of emotion going around. I feel none to a situation that's supposed to be normal. First of all, Orlando, my condolences on the loss, man. That's how my grandmother passed of a stroke via diabetes, man. But if you don't mind me asking, man, how old was it, brother, man? What was the quality of his life while he was living, man? Did he at least do some things, man, to where he enjoyed the life while he was here? Man, you just got to celebrate the life that he lived. That's the way that I look at it, man. Just celebrate the life that he lived. Celebrate the good things that he did. Celebrate the good times that y'all had, man. That's all that you can really do. Again, we already know energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It just changes forms. It just transforms. So he really didn't just die, man. It just transformed. Going back into the essence, man. So you had a lot of memories with him, I'm sure. So that's what you got to live by. Those memories, man. The good things that y'all did. So celebrate the life, man, instead of mourning and all of that stuff, man. We don't need to do that, man. He lived some life. He had some years on this earth, and I'm sure he did some good things while he was here. You highlight and you celebrate those joints. And I'm sure your brother wouldn't want you walking around being sad, being negative, being depressed. I'm pretty sure he'll want you doing what you got to do. So that's what I would recommend on that. That'd be my advice on that particular situation, man. Dreaming the GTR, peace. What's going on? Get that leg day in. Thunder Squirt, man. Thunder, I've seen I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of crazy things. Steve, and I'm not going, this is the reason why I'm not finna be so quick to call her stupid. This is one of the reasons, like the term stupid, I feel like that's very harsh. Because again, I have been in situations. I've been in a lot of altercations, especially at her age, at 16. This is one of the reasons why I'm definitely not about to use the term stupid. Because at 16, at 15, we didn't all been knuckleheads. We didn't all did things that can be considered stupid and ignorant. We didn't all did these things. We didn't all been in situations where we regret, like at 16, 15, whatever the age. We didn't all did things that it's like, man, what was I thinking? Especially when it comes to altercations, man. So at 16, 15, man, listen, I did a lot of things that you can look at me like, man, that was stupid, that was dumb, that was crazy. But it was you 16, man, you young, you gonna do that, man. You gonna make mistakes, especially when it comes to altercations, especially when it comes to fighting. Man, you riled up, man. Once you start fighting, especially if you are getting jumped, man, you not really thinking about what's going on. And then you got to think about it from that end. You didn't already started the fight. Man, you ain't really hip to the cops showing up, man, because it's like being in a game. It's like playing a sport when you drowning out the noise. So you don't hear the fans, man. The fans are there, but you don't hear them. But the fans are there, though. They making a lot of noise, man, but you so tapped into the game, you so focused and concentrated that you're not hearing the fans. It's the same way when you fighting, man. You so locked in on who you fighting, man. You not hearing what's going on around you. So the cops could have pulled up, man, but she just is not registering because she's so locked in on the people that she feel like is threatening her existence. So I can chalk it up to a lot of those different things. So I'm not gonna necessarily go out of my way to say she was stupid. If she was fighting, man, I done been in that situation. You locked in, you not hearing what's going on around you. You're not hearing the cops. You're not hearing people say what's going on. Hey, put your hands up. Nah, you fighting, you trying to survive. You locked in. It's almost like it's game time. It's game time. When I used to play sports, when I used to play football, I didn't hear what people were saying. People was like, man, I was doing this. I was yelling your name on this. I'm like, man, I didn't hear that, man. I didn't hear it. I was locked in. I was zoned out. I was focused. So the same thing happens when you fight, man. And again, we gotta factor in all of that before we label her stupid, before we label her ignorant or whatever it is. And I'm not saying that she acted, and this is another thing too. I'm not saying she acted the right way. But what I'm saying is at the end of the day, I'm not about to call anything she did dumb or stupid. She acted in the moment as plenty of us have done. So it's easy for us to say on the outside looking in that she should have did this, she shouldn't have did that. But man, we wasn't there. We don't know what led up to that. We don't know what type of threat she was under that had her react the way that she reacted. So I don't know. All we know is what we saw. And that's not the whole story. So we don't know what went on prior to that is my whole point. Yeah, she could have not had the knife. Yeah, she could have just took the L or took the jumping. Well, it looked like she wasn't taking no L, but it looked she could have just took up. She could have just taken all of that, but she didn't. But she didn't, and it's something that led up to that, and that's the part that we will never know. Steven, I get that the cop thought that she was a threat, but what if the girl felt like the other girls was a threat to her, is my point. So it's justified for the cop saying that she was a threat, but what if the other girls were a threat to her, which is why she had the knife? Because if I'm outnumbered, like I said, if it's 2 or 3 people, they can kill one person. You being outnumbered can result to your death. So again, if she felt threatened, then what? But she's not going to be allowed to tell us that. So she could have easily been feeling like she was threatened, but nobody is trying to look at it from that angle. I don't feel like she was just out here waving a knife for no reason. I just don't feel that. I honestly don't feel that. Y'all can feel however y'all feel about it, but I don't believe that she was out here just waving a knife for no reason at all. I don't see that. I don't see that. And I could be wrong. KC ain't, hey, I'm all for it. Like I said, it's not really even me taking a side. It's just me not trusting what I just saw. So I think a lot of us are going just based off of what we saw, and I feel like it's a whole entire story that we don't know. So I'm saying before we label her ignorant, dumb, before we label her wrong, like we need not do that because we don't know the entire story. Now, if the entire story comes out and I subscribe to what people are telling me and it adds up, and it's like she was in the wrong, then I'm like, all right, man, I can try to piece this together. But man, if it comes out that she like they was there to cause her harm, then I don't care. She was right to me. All I need to know if they was there to cause her harm and they started it and she wasn't trying to have no parts of it. If that part of the story is true, then whatever else happened after that, I don't care, because if they was there to cause her harm and she was defending herself and she didn't want no parts of it, then whatever she did, like after that point, when she defended herself, she was right. So I need to confirm that part of the story. That's where I'm at with it. Yeah, righteous, and that's what I'm saying, man. They free. It's hard to man. It's just hard to trust people. Like I don't understand. We got to understand what we just was out here celebrating. Like we won a lotto. We was just celebrating this system. Convicting Derek Chauvin, calling him guilty, giving him that verdict. This same wicked system, it's like now all of a sudden we trust in what they showing us. Like we pick and choose, man. We pick and choose and we want to say, okay, everything that they showing us is correct. Then we turn around and say, nah, man, we don't trust this system. We protesting this system. It's like, man, we got to stop being so fickle and so gullible. Either you trust in this system fully or you not trusting it, man. You can't keep picking and choosing when it's convenient to your perspective. Like this same wicked system, man, that's been responsible for assassinating our people, murdering, killing, raping, pillaging our people for over 400 plus years is the same system that will manipulate some footage. Is the same system that will intimidate witnesses. It's the same system. It's the same system. This system ain't no different. The same system. So we got to keep all of that in consideration. Steven S., hold up. I don't nah, I'm not gonna call I'm not gonna call fighting barbaric. Again, it's almost like fighting is neutral, just like a gun is neutral. Fighting is not barbaric, it's not positive or negative. It just is. Because if somebody is threatening my existence, I have the right to defend myself, which would be considered a fight. So at that particular point, it's defense, it's self-defense. It is what it is, man. And I have the right to defend myself. So I'm not gonna label that something barbaric. I'm not gonna necessarily do that. I mean, we'd have been fighting since the beginning of time. Like this is something that we've always done, and it ain't never. A lot of times, it hasn't resulted in what happened with Mikayah Bryant. So I'm not gonna necessarily label it as something barbaric, man. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not going to do that because I didn't, it has been a lot of good come out of fighting, man. Just like when I was young, man, it was like a respect thing, man. You had issues with a gentleman, man. Y'all hash it out. Boom, y'all got in the gloves. Boom, y'all fought. Next thing you know, man, y'all best friends. That was one of the way you just hashed out differences, man, in a respectable manner. It was just something that we did. So I'm not about to call it barbaric, man. It's just, it is what it is. It has been sport. It's been something like that for a long time. Been something like that for a long time. But I'm not going to place a label on it. Yeah, sometimes fighting can be crazy, but then sometimes it can serve a purpose. Like I say, it's a time for peace. It's a time for war. So it's always a time. It's a time to defend yourself. It's a time to fight. So I'm not going to necessarily say it's never a time to fight, never a time to defend yourself, and fighting all the time 100% is barbaric. I ain't going to really do that. And Steven, man, we all listen, we go hard. Man, I was protesting, man, when things was happening, the Mike Brown situation, all of that. It was a young girl in my neighborhood, man. She was young. I think she was maybe like, I don't want to misquote the age. Maybe she was like 10 or something. She could have been in the single digits, but she got killed, man. It was like a drive-by shooting. Bullet just so happened to hit her. I showed up to that protest. So, man, we out here protesting those type of murders too, man. We out here protesting those type of killings, man. We doing it. We doing that, man. Like I said, I was part of that protest and many others, man, where youngins were killed, especially when it was so-called by our own. So, man, we didn't been out here, man. We didn't protested those too, man. So that stuff is not going under the radar. Obviously, something like this is about to be more talked about because it's national news, man. So that's one of the reasons why you're going to see more of this. And that's one of the reasons why you're going to hear more of this. Like the protest that I'm talking about with the situation that I'm talking about, they didn't necessarily make national news. So, of course, y'all don't even know about what I'm talking about because it didn't make national news, but it happened. And I showed up to that march. We marched, protested, and all of that for that particular situation. So I was there, man. So we out here doing it, man. Like people out here protesting it on all ends, man. So it's not really just we focusing on this and we ain't never protesting the 7-year-old that got shot, the 6-year-old that man got shot last week. Come on, man. We doing it. We doing it. Brittany, yeah, that video. You talking about South Carolina. You talking about the South Carolina joint. And I heard the young bull actually lived in the neighborhood longer than dude. Now, I don't know if that got confirmed. I have no clue. But that's what I had heard. But yeah, you go in that white neighborhood, you walk around, oh, you best believe they calling the cops on you. Best believe. Even if you live in that neighborhood, like you best believe, man, you may get them cops called on. You best believe that. You either gonna get the cops called on you or they gonna do like old dude and they gonna approach you. Dreaming of GTR. What you talking about? A mom killed her children. What we talking about? Terenzo, man, appreciate that donation and no doubt. Steven, like I said, you got to think about being in this particular situation. That sounds good to say why call them in the first place. For one, we are assuming that these individuals view the system the way that I'm viewing it. So that's an assumption. Maybe they trust the police. I don't know. Maybe that's why they called them. But at the end of the day, like I said, when you are in a situation where things are getting heated, we didn't been there, done that, man. The logic is out of the window. So if you're not able to see that from this other side and this other angle, I really don't know what to tell you. I'm able to see it from the other side saying, okay, if everything adds up, and she was in the wrong, she was just in the wrong. But if you can't step back and say, man, maybe she was in fear and you don't know the whole story, then I don't really know what to tell you. Because I done been in heated situations to the point where I have blacked out and everything around me, I did not hear it nor see it. So I have literally been in situations like that. So, and I done seen people in those situations, man. So it is what it is. I'm not going to necessarily call it dumb, man. It's just you was in a situation where you blacked out. You may have whatever caused you to black out, you felt threatened, whatever the case may be. I've seen that. I've literally seen that. So it's easy for us to try to apply logic to a situation that we was not involved in. And that's the part that's not really resonating with me. We applying logic to a situation we were not involved in. So we are not Mikayah. We don't know. Like, we wasn't her. We not her. So it's easy for us to look and say she should have did this and it was dumb what she did. The person that called the cops was dumb. That's so easy for us to do. All I'm saying is I'm not doing that because I don't know what she was feeling. I don't know what happened prior to the footage that I saw. And I feel like that's an honest assessment. I feel like anything other than that is ignorant because we don't know what happened. We don't know what happened, man. And I'm rolling with that perspective, man. I don't fully know what happened. I know it's been plenty of times where I done felt like I felt threatened and I didn't grab some things. I didn't grab some things to where if the people came up after me, man, it was finna go down and whatever was going to happen after that was just going to happen. And you may have called the cops to give them the warning like, hey, these people on my premises, man, I'm trying to hold them off, man. But if they come closer, I'm going to have to defend myself. We done been there, done that because, again, if we don't call anybody and we end up defending ourselves or killing them, then we going to get locked up. So it's like it's a lose-lose situation out here. So you may just call them to get the warning like, hey, man, these people, I done told them, to leave me alone. They not moving. If they get any closer, I'm going to have to defend myself, man. We done been there, done it. I've been in plenty of situations to where I saw stuff like this. So again, man, I'm not about to just jump to this conclusion and call her whatever the case may be. I need more information. I need more intel. And I feel like that's okay to need more intel before making a full conclusion and just saying, going based off of what I saw, saying that was just done. Like, listen, what if one of the other girls had a weapon on her before she pulled out her knife? We don't know what we don't even know that. We don't even know. Like, what if she called because somebody was calling saying that somebody had a knife on somebody? What if one of the other girls had a weapon on her and they dropped it or something? Like, we don't know. I don't know. We just assuming she was the only one with the weapon. Nick Peach, what's going on? Yeah, but Orlando, man, listen. If you need to chop it up, man, you got plenty of people. You got plenty of people in this thread that you could chop it up with, man. Because I already know, man. I know how that goes, man. Especially if y'all were like close, man. Especially if y'all was close. If y'all was close, man, I know the impact that can have. Yeah, Thunder Scorpion, man. I already know, man. I didn't seen it all, man. I didn't just when emotions get riled up, man. Man, listen, I done seen some crazy things when emotions get riled up, man. And that happens. That's life, man. Ain't none of us perfect, man. The one thing I don't like that we do is act like we perfect. None of us are perfect. We done all been in situations to where the emotions done got the best of us, man. Come on. Like, we done all been there, done, especially at 16 or 15. Like, we didn't have life figured out at 15 to 16. We didn't have our emotions mastered at 15 to 16. So stop acting like we did. We didn't. Man, you didn't have the world figured out at 15 to 16. You didn't have your emotions mastered at 15 to 16. You didn't have yourself mastered at 15 to 16. You didn't. You didn't. So why you expect these 15 and 16-year-olds to know better and to have everything mastered and figured out, man? You didn't. We didn't. And at 15 and 16, ain't no telling a cop with a can might try to fight the cop. You know, that's how we was at 15 to 16, man. You not thinking, man. You not that wise at 15 to 16, man. You just not. You finna do some dumb things in your life at 15 to 16. Learning. And you finna learn. You supposed to learn from those experiences. Like, that's what's gonna shape the adult that you become, because you did dumb things at 15, 16, 17, 18. You like, man, when I was 15, man, I did this. Man, I'm glad them days are over. I was wilding out in my younger years. Man, come on, man. We didn't all been there, done that. We just didn't so happen to get caught doing some of the things, or we didn't get killed doing some of the things. That's the difference. We may have all been in situations that was probably worse than what just happened. We just didn't get killed. We happened to make it out alive, but we probably did things that was way worse than she did at 15 to 16. What I'm talking about, pulling the knife out, man, there's some people, man, I'm telling you, I've heard stories worse than that. The person just didn't happen to get killed. That's it. That's the only difference. She just so happened to get killed, and they just so happened to have body cam footage of what happened. They had body cam footage of all the things we were out here doing when I was 15 to 16, different ball game, man. We was doing, come on, man. We didn't have life. We didn't have everything figured out, man. We didn't have everything figured out. We didn't have ourselves mastered at 15 to 16. I just didn't, man. You didn't. I did. Nobody did. You did some dumb things at 15 to 16, 17, 18. You just so happened to make it out alive, man. You like, man, I can't believe I did that. But okay, I did it, and it happened. She did something. This could have been the first mistake she's ever made, and it may have cost her life. I mean, not made, but it did cost her life. This could have been the only thing she's ever done that was considered that bad, and it cost her life. So you mean to tell me that was that? Come on, man. Come on, man. We ain't perfect, man. Nobody perfect. We done all have situations, and we still gonna have situations where our emotions gonna get the best of us. That's gonna happen. That don't make us bad. That don't make us negative people. That don't make us savages. That don't make us any of that. That just makes us individuals who are not perfect. DJ Elmo, peace. What's going on? And Terenzo, that I be having to put the air quotes in when I say perfect, but people know I'm speaking in layman terms when I talk about perfect. Layman terms, because we can basically talk about the perfection and imperfection and things of that nature. But I'm speaking in layman terms, basically doing everything that the average person would consider, or not the average person, but what the masses would agree is the norm or the right thing to do. Perfect by that means, man, just eating in the correct manner, acting in the correct manner, based upon what everybody would agree would be the right thing. Like in this particular situation, what everybody basically is trying to say, well, she shouldn't have had the knife. Like if everything, based off of all the people that are criticizing her, if everything went according to that plan, that's what I'm talking about being perfect. Yeah, she did some things that you could be like, man, you shouldn't have did that. You shouldn't have handled it like that. But that's life, man. Like that's life, especially when you caught up in the moment. Especially when you caught up in the moment. Steve, like I said, man, I don't even disagree with what you're saying. What I'm saying is, I feel like it's more to the story that we probably will never know. That's pretty much where I'm at with it. That's where I'm at with it. And it's a reason why she called the cops, is what I'm saying. The reason why you gonna call the cops in the first place is because you feel what? You feel threatened. So at that particular point, man, like I said, I don't know what led to the altercation after she may have called the cops. Don't know. Like I said, what if one of them had a weapon on her and was coming at her trying to, I just don't know. Like I just don't know. Like I get it. I get what everybody's saying that's trying to criticize her and trying to say what she did was wrong, this, that, and the third. She shouldn't have had the knife while the cop was there. I get all of that. But I'm just saying I don't know everything. I don't know everything. But even who called the cops, we ain't even got that really confirmed yet. But it's portions of the story, man, that I still need to know. That I still need to confirm and validate before I really jump to a conclusion. But based off of what I'm gathering now, I just feel like I said, if somebody coming to attack me, whether I call the cops or not, I got the right to stand my ground and defend myself, man, whether I call them or not. Especially at 16, man. 16, man, you man, you gonna do some things that's gonna be questionable at 16. That's all I got to say. Jay, Steven, appreciate them donations though. Yeah, Jay, man, I'm in the same boat. I'm trying to listen. I'm trying to master my emotions at 30, man. I know how I go. So ain't none of us perfect in that end, man. Like I definitely will do some things today, later on today that's gonna be questionable. I'm gonna do some things tomorrow that's gonna be questionable. I'm gonna do some things on Friday that's gonna be questionable. I'm gonna continue to do that. That's how you learn. I'm gonna continue to do that. So I hope, listen, I hope at the end of my life, I hope that people don't judge me based off of some questionable decisions that I made. And that's what's happening to her. She, unfortunately, she's about to go to her grave being judged based off of some so-called questionable decisions that she made. And see, that's what I'm saying. So how would y'all like it if at the end of y'all life, man, y'all basically just got judged based off of the questionable decisions that y'all made? It's not cool, man. I'm just saying, man, we don't know Mikayah Bryant. We don't know who she was as a person, as a young woman, as a girl, as a teenager, whatever you want to refer to her as. We don't know her. But we are painting her out to be somebody that's ignorant, somebody that was a killer, like that's how we paint her out to be, man. We don't know her, man. We don't know what led to this situation. We don't know the backstory, man. These girls could have been bullying her, like we just don't know. You know how when they got the mass shooters and whatnot, they come out and give you the backstory. They've been facing mental illness for 5 and 10 years and things of that nature. They give you the whole backstory, give you the whole history of the mass shooter. We don't know the history of this young woman. We don't know her history, man. We don't know what she was battling with. We don't know if she was being bullied. We don't know what led up to this, man. We don't know. We don't know, man. I know plenty of people, man, that, man, people been picking on her for a long time. Then they snap, and when they snap, it's bad. But it's like, man, they was getting bullied. They was getting picked on, man. They was trying to dodge the situation. They was trying to avoid the situation. They was telling adults, but the adults wasn't doing anything. And then it's like, all right, it finally reached that point to where, okay, now I'm finna snap. I'm tired of it. So I just don't know, man. I don't know the whole entire story, man. And that's my point. I don't know Mikayah Bryant. I don't know her. I don't know her backstory. I don't know what led to this. I don't know what she was dealing with prior to this. I don't know. I feel like when a mass shooting occurs, then we afford them the ability to give us the history of the person. Well, let them give us the history of her before we be so quick to label her. So I want the history of her. I want to know what she was battling with. I want to know what led to this altercation. What was happening? What was the origin behind what went down? Dominique, what's going on? That's all I'm asking for. Terenzo, you already know I be ready to answer questions. I like questions. Trick questions or not, I like them joints. Where's the scope guy? So wait a minute, you say you saw the video why the person she was fighting was an adult. So she was fighting adult. Like I don't even, and that's another thing. I don't know the people she was fighting. I don't know their age. I don't know if they was her same. I don't even know that. I don't even know. See, Quiz, and that's what I'm saying, man. I have no idea. Like, that's what I'm saying. If they was bullying her, come on. And that's what I'm saying, Dominique. She was in foster care. Like, I heard all of that. So what I'm saying is, like I said, the mass shooter, we let them, all right, they was going through all of this, and this is what led to that. Let them do the same for us black folks. Let us get the history, man. All right, man, she was getting bullied. She might, and this might, listen, she might, listen, for all we know, she could have been in this situation a few times and called the cops on these same chicks, and nothing happened, and the cops didn't do anything. Like, I don't know, man. I just don't know. And then she was like, you know what? I'm tired of it. I'm finna just go ahead and defend it now. Let's go. So I don't know. Thunder, and that's what I'm saying. If you've been getting bullied and picked on, and you finally snap, that's a wrap. Like when you finally snap after getting picked on, man, you about to go crazy. You about to go crazy. You about to go crazy, man. Like you about to go crazy. You about to really go crazy. All right, Tay, you say you got a question. You say, what do you all think the cop could have done better? It's been a lot of different perspectives and suggestions and recommendations in regards to that particular question. Some people say tase. Some people say shoot them in another area that you know is not going to result in them dying or something along those lines to de-escalate the situation. Shoot her in the leg or something along those lines. But then when we say that, people say that we reaching, and that sounds like it's something from a movie and things of that nature. I honestly, this is my honest. This is what I say. What would they have done if it was two white people in this same particular situation, and another white person had a knife on another white person? I don't think that would have resulted in one of them dying. So however they would have handled that situation then is how they should have handled this situation. Because we like I said, I've seen situations that were worse where it didn't result in any deaths. Maybe it resulted in somebody being shot, but it didn't result in them dying. So I've definitely seen situations where, yep, somebody either had the gun or they had a weapon on somebody, cops involved, didn't result in the person who had the weapon dying. Man, they may have got shot him in the shoulder or something, shot him in the leg, somewhere where it didn't kill him. Yeah, they got injured, but they didn't kill him. And again, if you got a gun pointed on somebody, like people were saying she was about to stab her, could have killed her. Well, if you got a gun pointed at somebody, then you can kill them just basically one shot, boom. Especially if you got an aim at the head. So I done seen situations where people that had not seen them, but I done been heard, seen, been a part of situations where people that had things on individuals, cops involved, didn't result in anybody dying. So I've seen situations like that just be handled better than that. I mean, because I didn't grow up in the best part of town, so we didn't been there, done that. But I just feel like if you knew from the jump, like once you pull that gun out, like I just feel like, man, you know where to shoot somebody to where at least you ain't about to instantly kill, man. They just right for the kill. Bow, bow. We done. Especially if I'm not hip to what's really going on, man. Like, all right, man, I'm about to try to boom. I'm gonna shoot her in the leg or something. But again, at the same time, like I said, that's us applying the logic to the situation. I'm able to jump back and try to look at it from their angle and say, just like their emotions was riled up, the cop emotion could have been riled up because obviously they can't take anything that's a threat. We done seen that through history. So obviously, once he pulled up and saw black people fighting, he already ready. So we already knew once he pulled up and saw that, like it's a wrap. Like dude finna do something irrational. So we already pretty much, I don't want to say should have expected that, but once he pulled up and saw black people fighting, yep. And Quez, that's what I'm saying, man. Just let me get her backstory. Let me get the backstory, man. That's what I want to know, man. What was going on? What was going down, man? That's what I want to know. Because even and one thing that I'm also taking under consideration too is even the people that were like in the video, they were saying you didn't have to kill her, you didn't have to shoot her. Like the people that were there were saying that. So like I'm going off of the witnesses that we talking about. Like even the people there was like you didn't have to do that. So I feel like if the people there was like, hey, you didn't have to do that, then I'm gonna go off of what they said. So I'm gonna think that y'all didn't really have to do that. Because you hear it, man, y'all didn't have to do that. Y'all didn't have to do that from the people that was there watching. Which I can also step back and say, and again, I mean, I can say this, but this is again me applying logic to the situation. Could have easily said it was a lot of adults there that could have at least tried to break this joint up and handle the situation better instead of sitting there with the phones out watching and all of that good stuff, man. But we know how that go. And Tay, that's what I'm saying. Now, Tay, flip the script. Now you say if that was your baby about to be stabbed. Now, flip the script. What if that was your baby on the other end that was defending herself about to stab the person? Then how would we feel? So if it was your child on the other end instead of about to be stabbed, if it was your child on the other end about to do the stabbing because she felt threatened, then how would we feel? I'm pretty sure we all would probably feel like her mother. So I feel like that can go both ways. If we say, well, if that was my child about to be stabbed, first off, if you got if your child out here trying to jump and bully another child, which this needs to be confirmed, but if that's happening, then we got other things to discuss. Now, if this was just a one-on-one situation and she pulled the knife out, boom, just about to stab her just because it was a one-on-one situation and she was losing, all right, whatever. But if what everybody is saying about her being jumped, they was there to jump her, then we got other things that we need to be discussed other than if that was my child about to be stabbed. Why is my child out here trying to jump somebody 4-1, 3-1? Like, why is this happening? What type of toxicity is going on in the crib to where I got my child out here trying to jump somebody 3-1, 2-1, like I said. So we got other things to discuss if that's what's happening. Yeah, Brittany, man, listen, Brittany. and that's how I viewed it, man. Get put in protective custody, PC, all that good stuff, man. Dude might not even really get locked up for real. And we was out here celebrating like we had won the lottery out here. And Thunder Scorpion, it is weird because I once thought that, but I have been in some situations to where like it's like I said, when I got robbed at the bank, I actually conducted myself in a pretty reasonable and calm manner. So it's like you would think if somebody got an AK to your head that you were about to be panicking. Like, nah, like I was like cooling to the point where I was like, all right, man, I didn't feel like dude was gonna do anything to me. But dude had a whole AK and I could see the rounds in it. At any given point, it could have went crazy. It could have went crazy, but it's like for the most part, man, I wasn't going crazy like you would think somebody would be doing. You wasn't crying, you wasn't shaking, man. I was just like, all right, whatever dude finna tell me to do, I'm about to do it. I'm finna give him this money, get him on up out of here. So in that particular situation, like I moved according to how I knew I needed to move. I did not panic. I did everything that I know I needed to do. So it's like sometimes I feel like you can kind of say how you gonna react in situations if you know yourself. Because like in those situations, I actually was acting according to according to how I would act in any other situation. Emotionless. Like I'm like people always get on me about being emotionless and things like that. But when I was in those particular situations, matter of fact, I was so chill the first time we got robbed in the bank. The dude that was robbing us got mad and said, "Man, you moving too slow." That's how relaxed I was in the situation. Dude slid the note, man, was basically telling me to empty the drawers, and I'm looking at dude like, and I'm moving just like I would move normally, and dude was straight getting mad. I'm like, all right, man. So it's like I feel like I didn't been in some situations to where that adrenaline can get up, but I ain't really let it get the best of me to the point where it caused me to take a L, man. And again, that goes back to training. Because guess what? In the bank, when you work in the bank, guess what you train to do? You train to get robbed. You train to, like, this is your training. Like you train to, if somebody do this, this is what you do. So once it actually happened, it was like, all right, man, okay, this is happening. This is what I'm about to do. Now, of course, everything didn't go smoothly, but I made it out of both of those situations without things going crazy. And the second dude told us straight up. He said, "Look, if y'all do this, that, and the third, if I don't make it out, y'all don't make it out." So dude was in there threatening us, man. So dude was like flat out, if I don't make it out of here, y'all not making it out. So don't y'all do this, don't y'all do that, don't y'all hit no panic button, all that. I'm like, cool, bet. Matter of fact, I was talking to Buddy. And that's all. Like some of that was me listening to the training, and some of that was like me listening to my instincts. Like, all right, I'm gonna do this according to this training, but then I'm gonna handle this part my way. Yeah, Jay. And like I said, I wouldn't have been, if it would have been one time, bow, boom. I ain't even mad at it, man. You did what you had to do at that particular point. Not mad at it. And again, I'm not even really on anybody's side right now. I'm more neutral in this because I don't know everything. So I don't want people to think that I'm neutral. I definitely don't justify the 4 times. Definitely not going to justify that. But I'm neutral in a sense because I don't have all the evidence. I don't know the whole story. So I'm neutral. I'm not about to, I don't have all the facts. I don't have all the data. I don't have all the evidence. And unfortunately, I probably would never have that because, again, the victim, she's dead. So she's not able to tell us what really happened on her end. She can't give us her side. So we can just only hope that the witnesses give us the correct version of the story based off of what they heard, seen, witnessed, whatever the case may be. That's all we can kind of hope for at this particular point. Then we got to make our, you know what I'm saying, decisions or whatever, or judgment. We got to place our judgments based off of all of that. Terenzo, no doubt. I definitely fool with that. Nanya, man, hey, glad you did, man. Hey, I'm telling you, I done been there, done that, man. Just felt threatened, and y'all got to know how I go, man. But I didn't. I pretty, like I said, earned my stripes early, man. When you the smallest somebody, man, in the vicinity, everybody gonna test you, man. So I always was having, not always, but I was having to defend myself early on in life because people thinking they just gonna mess with you because you small. So it's like, man. So I know how that go. Just being bullied and picked on, man, and just underestimated, and you having to basically defend yourself, and then just being in situations where you blacking out, man. Like I said, the only difference is when I was in these situations, I didn't get caught. or the cops weren't involved, or if the cops were involved, like I didn't get killed and things of that nature. Because at the end of the day, what we got to realize, all right, cool. We obviously saw that they saw the chick with the knife. Boom, cool. But it had been plenty of times, like Sean Bell, for instance, they thought he had something and killed him. So now it sounds cool because they may have actually had the knife on them. But what about the many times that they mistakenly thought we had something on us and we didn't? What about the times they didn't pull up to a fight with no, like you, when you pull up to a fight, you don't know what anybody has on them. So basically what we saying is they justified in shooting and killing anybody that has a fight. Because you don't know what anybody, when you pull up to a fight, you don't know what anybody has on them. Literally, you don't know. You just don't know. Now, if you see it, then you know. But man, people can have stuff tucked, like you don't know. They can have it in their pocket. They just ain't pulled it out yet. You don't know what somebody has on them when they fighting. You don't know. You just don't know. So at that particular point, it's always like a split decision, man, because if somebody is fighting, you don't know what people have on them. You don't know what people have on them, especially when you just pull up to it. You don't know what's going on, man. For all you know, both of them could be strapped with something. You don't know. You just pulled up. How you supposed to know? All right, boom. You just saw it. The other person could have had something on. You just didn't see it, though. Yeah, Thunder Scorpion, like I said, man, it was like you would think when you faced with a situation like that, man, that you will be like panicking, or you would like, nah, I feel like I handled them situations rather smoothly. Like I feel like I handled them situations rather smoothly. That was one of the times where I pretty much handled the situation rather smoothly. Like I was obviously talking, like it was obviously a lunatic, man. You coming into this bank day after Christmas, driving the robbers with the AK. So you obviously crazy at this particular point. Obviously, got all cameras in this bank, so we obviously don't care about that. And we can like, come on. So I'm like, man, we obviously dealing with a lunatic, man. So I'm just chopping it up with him. I'm talking to him every time you say something. I'm responding. Jay, and this is another thing too. Jay, you talk about being blocked on Facebook. Facebook just placed me on a 24-hour lockdown. I got placed in Facebook jail because of my statuses pertaining to this particular incident. So I got placed in Facebook jail. I can't even say nothing on Facebook because of what I just said about this particular situation. Anais, peace, what's going on? So I got placed in Facebook jail, man, for expressing my sentiments on this particular incident. That's crazy. They locked me up. So free me on Facebook. So that's the so you can't even speak your piece on this matter, man, because you're gonna end up getting locked up. Facebook jail. I got literally placed on Facebook jail because I made two statuses back to back pertaining to this particular situation. And the second status that I made, I talked about the King Von situation. Basically, King Von out here fighting Buddy, whatever Buddy name is, and Buddy homeboy pulls out the gun, shoots King Von, and kill him. And everybody was like, "Yeah, that's what Buddy was supposed to do. That's what you want your homeboy to do. He was supposed to do that." But then, like I said, in this situation, now it's a whole different ball game. If she felt threatened, she pulled out a knife to defend herself. Now she wasn't supposed to do that. But then when you out here fighting and your homeboy pulls out a gun and shoots and kills the person that's getting the best of you, then he was supposed to do that. And even in that situation, man, even in the King Von situation, when homeboy pulled out the gun and shot and killed him, I don't know if these were security guards. I don't know if these was like off-duty police officers, but they shot him in the leg though. They shot Buddy that shot King Von in the leg. They shot Buddy in the leg. They didn't kill him. They shot, and he killed somebody. He killed Buddy. Like he killed, but he pulled a gun out, pop, killed him. And they shot Buddy in the leg though. Shot Buddy in the leg on that. Terrell, and that's the part where I will agree. Because, and this the part where I will agree with, like, Steve Terrell, like, I will agree with that. When you get like, if I got the cops involved in a situation like that, but see, this is me. I don't know how they view the cops. I don't know how they view the system. I don't know. They could fool with the system. But I know, like, if something were to happen like that and I'm involved or not involved, or I'm like watching it and the cops come and they start shooting it won't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. That'd be the only difference. I wouldn't have been surprised if I was there. I'm like, yep, the cops coming. This may not end well. Or I may start warning people beforehand, like, hey, man, the cops might be on their way. Like, y'all might want to stop that because y'all know they liable to pull these guns out and start going crazy. So that's the only part. That's the only part. Well, one of the parts that I can adhere to that. I can adhere to that. Like, all right, boom, hey yo, the cops call. But then, like, on the flip side, I didn't been a 16-year-old hothead. I didn't been that. So it's like, yeah, it sounds good, but yeah, at 16, wasn't trying to hear that, didn't care. Especially if you being picked on. Like, hey man, the cops coming, man, hold off. Man, this the date. Like, y'all, I'm telling y'all, man, this the thing about life that what I'm talking about, acting like we perfect. I don't know about y'all, man, but I done been in plenty of situations, man, to where you letting stuff rock, and it's adding on, it's building up to the point where it takes something small to cause you to just click, go off. Man, the average person, like 9 out of the 10 people you gonna come across, man, they have been holding stuff in for a long time. Walking time bombs, man. So we don't know what this girl had been holding. We don't know what she had been holding in and things of that nature. This could have been her meltdown. I didn't have plenty of them, man. I'm not saying that that's right, but I'm saying that that's life, though. That could have been her meltdown. She could have been holding stuff in all the way up to that point. It's like, you know what? I'm tired of these girls, man. I'm tired of messing with me. I don't care. I don't care that we just called the cops. I don't care. I don't care about none of that. I'm finna go handle this. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. So what I'm saying is, man, I definitely can relate to a feeling or a sentiment like that. Just being fed up with a situation to now where you don't even care about what's about to go. They're like, man, listen, I'm tired of these people messing with me. I'd have been trying to be the bigger person for so long. It ain't getting me nowhere. I'm finna handle this another way. I'm tired of it. Because a lot of times when you getting bullied, it's like young women being molested. And they try to confine in the adults that's around them. And the adults make it look like they lying out here. So then people be like, Dad, why you wait 20 years later to say you was being molested? It's like they did, man. I told my mom Dukes, I told my aunt, but they was like, man, your uncle would never do that. So it's the same situation, man. This young girl could have been like, man, I've been trying to tell people, man, they've been bullying me. I've been trying to tell people at school. I've been trying to tell the authorities. Ain't nobody believing me. They making it look like it ain't that big of a deal. So now I just got tired of it and I'm taking matters into my own hand. I'm not saying that that's not right or wrong. It is what it is. Like, I done been there, done that, man. When you try to take the proper route, but it's like that proper route ain't giving you the results that you need. So it's like, man, you tired, man. You fed up. You fed up, man. I don't know about y'all, but I've been there plenty of times. Like, you just fed up, man, to where it can be the smallest thing, man. And the next thing that just you don't like, you snap. You snap. And at 16, that snap is way worse than when you like 30 or something. Because at 16, you're not really finna thoroughly think this out, man. You 16, you like, man, you know what? I'm tired of it. Boom, let me get a knife, get a brick or something, man. I don't know. So that's all I'm saying about this particular situation. I feel like we just quick to judge not only her, but we quick to judge everybody. We quick to judge the parents. We quick to judge her. Like, we quick to judge everybody. But what I'm saying is, ain't nobody really judging the girls that was actually fighting her. Like, that's my whole thing, man. We judging her, saying how wrong she was, but ain't nobody talking about the girls that were apparently there to jump her. What was they there to jump her for? Why is this not being like? Why is that being swept under the rug like that? The girls were there to cause her harm in the first place. Like we not highlighting that though. Like they were there obviously to cause her harm. They may not have had a weapon on them, but they were there to do damage to her. Now that much we can agree on. They were not there to shake hands with her. They were not there to talk it out with her. They were there to cause her harm. So I'm sure we can all agree that much, that they were there with the intentions of doing something to her, causing bodily harm. So I'm pretty sure we can all agree to that. Whether it was one of them, whether it was two of them, somebody was there to cause damage or bodily harm to her. We can all agree to that. Yeah, Tay, man, it could have been over a boy. It could have been, I don't know, it could have been over anything. Terenzo, you already know I know, man. Pop's in the military, so I already know. Yeah, it's real. Who knows, man? At 16, man, they could have been. It could have been. She talked about. They was talking about the clothes she was wearing or something, man. Who knows? But man, at 16, man, I was part of some dumb altercations, man. Hey, man, you talked about my mom. You said your mama joke. Obviously, you don't know my mom's. The joke wasn't accurate, but I'm about to fight you because you talked about my mom's though. You don't talk about my mom's, even if the joke is inaccurate. I could have let it slide, but like, nah, I'm not. So I didn't been part of a lot of dumb altercations at 16, at 15, 14, 13. Heck, man, I was in Spice. I still to this day don't know what I was fighting for. Just ended up fighting. And hey, Dominique, man, that's all I'm saying, man. Especially when it's young boys, man. These young boys, man, they be going through some stuff. And Jay, man, I saw that. I heard that was her pops though. That's what I heard. I heard that was the pops, which that's weird, but that's what I heard though. But I heard that was the pops, man, which is like, come on, man, like you shouldn't be doing that. But yeah, that's what I heard though about that. And one thing I can say about that, like if I'm in a situation like that, then I'm going to try to de-escalate the situation. If I got like a sister or daughter or a cousin, I'm gonna try to de-escalate. That's me. I'm like, hey man, come on, man. This ain't even we ain't even got to go out like that. Boom. I'm gonna try to handle that situation myself first. He ain't even gonna try. I know I will be able to handle that situation myself, but that's me though. I ain't expecting everybody to handle situations like me. Some of these parents be more ready to fight than the child or the children. So, you know, wisdom. No, I ain't heard of. I think I had saw something about him though. Right after you asked me that though, I think I saw some on Instagram or something about dude. Right after you had asked me about it though. You know how to out. You know how all of that go though. When you speak about something, then all of a sudden you start seeing it pop up on your algorithm and things like that. And then you start seeing ads and all that. And I got man, hey, I'm getting videos sent to me. I might want to show y'all. I might want to show y'all this video, man. I might have to share the screen with y'all on this video. I might have to share the screen with y'all in this video, man. Let me see. Man, I might have to share the screen with y'all, man. Hold on, man. Let me see something. I'm finna do the knowledge of something real quick, man. I might have to. Somebody showing me a whole video of a person with a knife, man, and how the cops handled that situation, man, when this white dude was coming at the cop with the knife. And they showing me how they de-escalated that particular situation. Yeah, I might have to share this. They shot him in the abdomen. So they didn't kill Buddy. They didn't kill white dude. They shot him in the abdomen. And Buddy was charging at the cop. So this wasn't like Buddy was charging at the cop with the knife. So he was coming for the cop head. He was coming at the cop head with that joint. So hold on, man. Let me see. Let me matter of fact, hold up. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna have to pull this up, man, so we can see this. I'm gonna have to let y'all see this particular video, and I'm gonna have to let y'all, we're gonna have to compare and contrast here, because obviously this is a different situation here. But we're gonna have to compare, and we're gonna have to compare and contrast. This is what we're gonna have to do. And I'm gonna let y'all know, I'm gonna let y'all chime in. I'm gonna let y'all chime in because we can compare and contrast all day. Hold on. I be forgetting how this works, but hold up. Here we go. Boom, share screen. All right, hold up. All right, so I'm about to bring this up, man. About to bring this video up real quick. Boom. Let me go ahead and do that real quick. Wow, here we go.
You can't walk on the highway. So you got any ID on you? No, man. Here, let's walk up to my cruiser real quick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have you place your hands on the back of my cruiser. I'm going to pat you down for officer safety. I'm going to pat you down for officer safety. Give me up. Give me. Sir, King 11, shots fired. Sir, Miss Squad, I shot one. He has a knife. Sir, get down. Sir, get down. Sir, get down. Get down. Get down. Get down. Stay down. Sir, please. Drop the knife. No, sir. Let us help you. Drop the knife. Drop it. You're not hurting all that. No, he didn't get a hold of me. No. He pulled the knife and I backed up.
All right, so we got that real quick. Hold up. We got that joint. And all right, hold up. Hold up, Stephen, what you say? Let me see. Say body cam, hostage situation, fatal shooting, Salt Lake City police. Hold on. I can't solve base. Hostage situation. All right, let me see. Body cam, hostage situation. July 5th, 2020. July 25th. And then what'd you say? 505, you say? All right, so now because we're not biased, I'm gonna show the one Steven is talking about too, but let me find, you said about 505-ish. Let me see, hold up. I'm going to assume that this is it, but hold on. Let me bring this screen back up, though. Hold up. All right. Do that. Hold up. All right. So now I'm about to watch this one. It's the one that Steven sent.
Drop the knife and... Hey! I will chase you if you don't stop. Stop right there. Hey! He's got a hostage. Put it down! Put it down! Hey, so, this is...
Dude, it's not worth it. Put it down.
All right. Hold up, Jamar. All right. So, I mean, not Jamar, but Steven. Okay. That situation. They even still gave him more. They gave him more time than they gave Mikayah. They gave him time to release the hostage and all that. They at least afforded him the time to do that in that one. And then that was that was a hostage situation. Like the person that he was holding hostage wasn't really there to cause him harm. So I think a hostage situation and then the situation with Mikayah Bryant is different because for one, he's intending to cause harm to her because he's holding a hostage. I don't even know. I think that hostage situation is a lot different. And they even gave him more time. Like they didn't just immediately start blasting up on dude once they found out that he had the knife. They gave him time to grab the hostage. They could have blasted immediately. So it's like, you got a knife, boom, shoot. He even said, I'm gonna tase you and all that. It was more reasoning going on in that particular situation. So I think that was a little bit different. Opposed to dude charging at the cop with the knife saying, I'm gonna kill you. He literally threatened to kill the dude. Like, I'm gonna kill you. Dude, and then this dude's homicide, so he didn't kill people. So he's capable of doing it. How does he walk away? He gets shot in the abdomen. Why not shoot to kill the person that's charging at you with a knife saying he's going to kill you? That don't add up to me. Why not shoot to kill that person? He could have shot that. He could have killed. Come on. He's charging right at you with the knife saying, I'm going to kill you. Come on now. You mean to tell me he couldn't shoot and kill that particular person? He shot him in the abdomen. That person recovered. But he was telling you he was going to kill you with this knife. So I don't know. I don't know. I think the hostage situation a little bit different than the situation we talking about. Because again, dude wasn't holding a lady hostage that was there to cause him harm and that was there to jump. Like, this dude probably was just insane and was out here holding this lady hostage. Hence why it's called a hostage situation. It wasn't Mikayah Bryant got this girl as a hostage. Like, I think that's different. I think that's a different ball game for real, though, to be honest with you. I get what you're saying, though, but I think that's a different ball game because this was a hostage situation. We ain't talking about a hostage situation. Oh, DJ Elmo, I already know. But Steven, you gotta eliminate your bias as well. You gotta see that we just posted a video of a dude who was charging at a cop who got a history of homicides, charging at a cop with a knife, saying he was gonna kill the cop. Yet that man doesn't end up dying because they are trained in a manner that they can shoot you and not kill you, which is all that we saying. This is all that we saying. What I'm saying is cops don't know. They don't automatically have to kill you because you have a weapon. They know where to shoot you to where it will not kill you. Just like this dude was charging that buddy with the knife saying, I'm going to kill you. So, and it's a lot of different situations like that. I know of some personally. But I still think at the end of the day, I really think we losing the argument. I think we so focused on, I think one of the things that we keep focused on, we keep going back to this knife and we're not going back to why she had the knife in the first place. Again, that's why we talking about not knowing the whole entire story. See, again, if they was there to cause her harm and she defended herself, I'm all for that. I'm all for her having a knife. I don't care if the cops was involved. I don't care if the cops was called. I just don't care. I'm all for you defending yourself because plenty of other people have done it and they have been justified in doing so. So if the little girl was 16, because again, at 16, you're not going to do everything in perfect order. You're not going to do everything that makes sense. So if she was at 16 and she was defending herself, at that point, she was justified in doing whatever it was she felt she had to do to defend herself, whether or not she called the police. That's just how I'm seeing it because that's how I was raised. I was raised, if I'm in a situation, man, people coming at me to defend yourself by any means, by all means. Not saying that's correct, but that's how I was raised. So when it's a situation brewing like that, then I'm going to go back to how I was raised. Defend yourself by any means. You feel threatened, you feel under attack. Here we go, about to defend myself. And with some people, I defend myself is not necessarily a beautiful thing because I can black out. That's why I try not to involve myself in situations. But at 16, you just about to be in situations for the most part because you young and you know what I'm saying? Like you just going to find yourself in some situations at that particular point in time in your life. And Steven, I can get that. Not even arguing that. But to shoot a 16-year-old 4 times, nah, I ain't buying that one. Especially when you just shot a grown man in the abdomen. That's my whole thing, man. When you shot a grown man in the abdomen, and I don't even care if it's a better cop, good cop, bad cops, man. I be putting them all in the same boat for real. I don't really too much fool with cops, period. But at the end of the day, man, 4 times, way too much. Way too much going on. Like way too aggressive for your boy. And then on top of that, and I'm gonna flip another script. I'm gonna give y'all another perspective that has not been brought up. This is another perspective that we have not brought up. Well, I don't know. Somebody could have brought it up. I didn't see it. But another perspective. Now, why do we all of a sudden think Why do we all of a sudden now think that a white cop coming into a black neighborhood cared enough to protect another black girl from getting stabbed to death? Any other time we would swear up and down that the cops don't care about us killing one another. So now all of a sudden we about to sit here and think that now this white cop was looking out for the best interest of the girl that was about to be stabbed. Now we want to believe that. So that's what I'm saying. Now all of a sudden we want to say this white cop was looking out for the best interest of the girl that was about to be stabbed. But then any other day we would say, man, these white cops don't care about us killing each other. They don't care nothing about that. So now we want to sit here and make it and give him the benefit of the doubt and say, well, he was trying to prevent the other girl from getting killed. I don't see that, man. What I see is when you are a white cop, you get called to break up a black altercation, you ready to pull out your guns. You ready to pull out the strap. You ready to pull out the strap. And Tay, we would never know. We would never know. But just the statistics are in favor of white people doing that. White cops doing that more than black cops. But once you label a cop, man, it's hard for me to kind of try to trust you in it. Like at the end of the day, you could be a black cop, but like you pretty much brainwashed. So just because you a black cop don't necessarily mean you down for the cause, you down for your people. So when you a cop, man, you in that same mix. You in that same mix. So if a black cop did the same thing, it is what it is, because who is he trained by? Like, who was that black cop trained by? He was trained by that same system that brought the Nazis in and told them to protect and serve. So that black cop getting the same training as the white cop, man. So I mean, the only way a black cop wouldn't act according to that is if that black cop just had sympathy for the situation because of how he was raised, you know, and was like, man, I ain't about to shoot and kill her, man. It's another way to go about this situation. The only way. But if the black cop goes according to how they were trained, then he might have done the same thing because they all getting that same type of training. But when you look up, statistically speaking, you just about to see more white cops doing that. That's why it don't look good for the white cops. Because when that white cop go into the black neighborhood, we got the stats out here that says, man, that's why we don't trust them. Kingdom, you said, but how many black cops are out here killing black people? I have to do the knowledge to those statistics, man. But we know how, honestly, we know how the black cops go. Like that's some of the worst. That's the worst. Those are some of the worst black people. We already know that, man. You know, the black people that have been brought into this system and been brainwashed by the system. So for the most part, you're going to have probably some of your worst experiences dealing with black cops because, you know, they think they got something to prove. You know, so you know how that go. You know how that go. But when a white cop pull out that gun, man, you just got to think about racism. You just got to think about hatred and all of that, man. You just got to think about a lot of things. But once you label the cop, like my trusting went out the window. I'm gonna have to do you like you do us. You know what I'm saying? You guilty till proven otherwise. Like I'm looking at you a certain type of way until you prove to me that you're not that way. Like that's just how I'm gonna have to handle that situation. Like I'm gonna look at you. You a suspect in my eyes. You got potential to do me harm until you prove otherwise. Yeah, Kingdom. I mean, I done had good and bad experiences with white and black cops. It is what it is. But I know when I dealt with the black cop, man, he just felt like and it's almost like it's like you're gonna be harder on your child more than you're gonna be harder on other people's kids. So it's like a lot of time these black cops, they feel like they gotta be harder on their own people. Not saying that they're gonna go around killing them, but they're gonna enforce the rules a lot more, a lot harder on their own, man, because that's just like having your kids, like your people, man, we gotta do better. So you may see them black cops, man, they may treat you more aggressively than these white cops because it's like, man, it's like that. They coming from that angle, which that I can kind of get, but still, I'm not trusting you. DJ Elmo said, black female cop who got sacked for protecting a black man who was beaten by her fellow white cop partner was just awarded her pension after several years of legal battle. It's crazy. That's crazy. And Justin, yeah, this listen, as long as this system is intact, nothing surprises me, man. Don't surprise me. And Kano, I'm glad you said that because it sounds good for us to say the community should handle these problems. But at the end of the day, it's impossible right now for us to handle these problems as a community without the cops getting involved in some way, shape, or form. It's almost impossible. Like some way, shape, or form, the law gonna get involved. Like in some way, shape, or form, man, the law is gonna get involved. Like it's just in some way, shape, or form when it comes to a situation like that. Steven, I don't even think because we lack leadership. You got to understand what didn't happen to us. I mean, at the end of the day, what system are we under? So even if we try to take matters into our own hand, we really literally not doing it because in some way, shape, or form, the law gonna get involved because we don't have our own system because we are in America under their system. So even if we try to handle things on our own terms, like literally, the law will still get involved. And we probably still gonna have to go through that process. So it's like we be having to deal, we be having to deal with the law even when we don't want to. So as good as it may sound to say, man, why we get the laws involved, man, because like sometimes it's like trying to cross all your T's, dot all your I's. You like, because the moment you don't get the laws involved is the moment things go wrong for you. It's basically, it's like you saying, I'm being better safe than sorry. You know, I can handle this myself, but if I handle this myself, once I handle it, then somebody's still gonna have to get the laws involved. And then the first thing they're gonna be like, well, why didn't you call the cops? And now I'm gonna have to deal with that, especially as a black man. So it's like a lose-lose either way we want to look at it. If we take matters into our own hands as black men, and y'all know what I mean by taking matters into our own hands, at some point the law is gonna get involved, whether we call the laws or not. Whether I call the cops or whether somebody else call the cops, it's almost impossible for you to be dealing with a situation that involves multiple people and somebody don't get the actual laws involved. Steven, I'm not saying we need them, but we got to be realistic right now. Like we got to deal in reality with the current time. You gonna get the laws involved, especially if it's something that involves like physical abuse or an altercation. Somebody gonna get the laws involved. If I'm fighting you, boom, and I'm getting the best of you, then if you got your peoples there, somebody gonna try to get me in trouble with the law. Hey, like, man, this dude whooping my cousin, and I can't control that. I can't control that. So if I'm having a situation with somebody and I'm getting the best of them, and they people decide to get the laws involved, that's out of my control. I can only control what I do. So I can't control anybody else deciding to get the laws involved. So I mean, I can't control it. So at some point, the law is gonna get involved. So sometimes it's like, man, I might as well just go and hit him up first because I know if I handle this situation, I'm probably finna thrash this dude, and they gonna end up calling laws on me. So at some point, somebody gonna get the laws involved. Man, I ain't never been in a situation that went to that full extent and the cops didn't get called. Whether it was like a neighbor that you didn't see that was watching it that called the cops. Somebody and always got the cops involved, man. Always, never failed. Ain't nobody calling the neighborhood, ain't nobody calling Mr. Roberts up the street to handle the situation. They ain't finna do that because you might mess around and get Mr. Roberts killed and in trouble. They're like, we gonna call the cops. So that's just the reality of the times that we dealing with and the reality of the times that we facing. But it is what it is. I'm always for us doing our own thing. But I know realistically speaking, we are not in that position right now. So I'm dealing with the way that the world is currently, not what I want it to be, not what I feel like it should be. I'm dealing with what it is right now at the current moment. That's how I'm viewing this situation. Yeah, Kana, man, this the times that we in. I wish it was different, but it's not. I wish we had our own system, but we don't. Like, that's just what it is right now. Things can change next week, but right now, this is how it is. And this is how I must assess the situation. But man, with that being said, man, I appreciate all y'all comments, man, all the questions, all that. I appreciate everybody on this joint, man. Appreciate the donations. Just appreciate everybody, man, mentioning the videos, tapping in, tuning in, just the whole dialogue. But y'all know what it is, man. I get on here venting, lose track of time, and I always got to head up to the gym to train people, man. So I appreciate all y'all, man. All respect, it's all peace, man. Appreciate all y'all comments, man. Whether you agree, disagree, whatever the case may be, I'm open to everything. I'm receptive to it all. So I appreciate all of y'all. Much respect. But I got to make my moves, man. Y'all know how I go. So y'all enjoy the rest of this Wednesday, man. I appreciate y'all tapping in with me for this good 2 hours, man. It was all peace. So I'll catch y'all maybe tomorrow, but most definitely on Friday. But y'all be easy out here, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of this Wednesday to the best of y'all abilities, because I know it's wicked out here. So y'all try to stay centered and balanced out here amongst all this chaos. But I'll catch y'all later, y'all. Peace.